Imagine the fun you'll have at your wedding, one of life's most treasured moments. In each episode, hear from leading wedding professionals as they share with you insider tips and personal advice for a magical wedding. Welcome to the Indian Wedding Podcast. Here to help plan your wedding with style and grace are your hosts, Kunal and Jinal Sampat.
Hi friends, this is Kunal from the Indian Wedding Podcast. Jinal and I are excited to bring to you this interview with Jas and Mandy from JSK Photography. Photography is one of the most important aspects of any Indian wedding. If you hire the wrong photographer, chances are that you won't have the right photos to look back and cherish your wedding memories. In this interview, Jas and Mandy from JSK Photography demystify the world of Indian wedding photography. A husband and wife team, JSK Photography has been covering Indian weddings in Northern California and beyond since 2010. In this value-packed, no-frills interview, Jas and Mandy share with us wedding photography styles, the difference between a good wedding photographer and a great wedding photographer, tips and tricks to get best wedding pictures, and much, much more. Please join me in welcoming Jas and Mandy on the Indian Wedding Podcast. Jas and Mandy, thank you for coming on the Indian Wedding Podcast. Jinal and I are super excited to have you on the show. We actually know you as really one of the first people in the wedding industry in the Bay Area, believe it or not. So we have high regards for the things that you guys do. Obviously, your work is phenomenal. So I can't wait to talk about that in this episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, both of you, for having us, and we're humbled by this. Thank you.
So can you tell us, what is the difference, what are the different photography styles for Indian weddings? People use these words like candid photography, traditional photography, portrait photography. What is this? What are the differences and what does it mean?
Well, there's the style is that there is some. How can I say this? Okay, you got your traditional photography, which is basically, going there, snapping the shots, not really going for the moments. The documentary photographers, the photojournalist photographers, they're the ones that will go through and basically capture the day as it unfolds. They're the ones that will be kind of like the fly on the wall. If you want your day to be basically completely uninterrupted, then that's the kind of photography you want to go for. Your portrait photographers are those that obviously are really into their portraitures, creating those gorgeous pictures of couples that you see everywhere. That's your portrait photographers. And majority of wedding photographers are usually a mix of everything. They are your part portrait photographers, part product photographers, part photojournalist photographers. So wedding photographers.
Right, you'll want someone who can do a mixture of all of that, right? Because throughout with Indian weddings, there's so much of everything. There will be the parents will want those traditional posed group shots, and then the couples want the candid stuff, the moments captured. So you want somebody who could get all of that.
Right. So it is actually, in fact, possible to have somebody. What style do you guys associate yourself with? You guys feel like that's your strength?
Our strengths are both
for us.
Portrait.
Yeah, go ahead. I would say Jas is portrait definitely, and candid, and then I'm very strong in candids. And details.
Right.
So we kind of balance each other out. He loves doing the portraits. He would do that day and night if he could, but then of course he has a candid photographer in him too. I mean, during weddings,
so that's a good balance to have between both of you.
Definitely. During weddings ceremony, we'll have a little quick, playful banter where it's like, "Oh, I got a better photo." So we'll challenge each other.
Yeah, we challenge ourselves.
You both so you both have like cameras yourself and try to do
we try to outdo each other at every wedding.
Kind of challenge.
So I don't think a lot of people on the show obviously may or may not know you. I'm guessing most people will not know you, but I know you guys are super creative individuals. So there is that element of creativity that you bring to the table, which I think is personally phenomenal.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's what, like, we actually recently met a couple who actually failed to see the value of photography in general for their wedding. To them, it was just like someone taking pictures. Can you guys tell us what wedding photography truly entails, and why it's just such an important role for an Indian wedding?
It's a story. It's the story of your day.
Mm.
And it's the memories. Yes, you'll go through the notions. People will come, you've invited them, you fed them, you wore your wardrobe and your outfit. Later, it's just hanging in the closet. That outfit or the food you catered to people isn't going to remind you of those moments you shared, that whether photo or video is going to capture for you. So really investing in photos and videos later, the cake's eaten, you have your marriage, but what else do you have afterwards? You have your memories, and these photographs are going to help you remember those memories, those moments.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you get the best photos when the couple is not used to getting photographed?
Oh, we just let them be themselves completely. The best photos usually happen when moments aren't even like the pose pictures are your pose pictures, which are great, but the best moments that happen are just the interactions between the couple, the glances over to each other, the smiles, the looks that they give each other, the parents looking at the kids getting married. Those are the beautiful moments that happen within the wedding, and it's
wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a real beautiful thing. I mean, weddings are a beautiful thing. So we just tell our couples just to relax, just to be themselves. Just don't, we obviously try and keep far away from our clients as possible, so they don't feel like the camera's in their face. So we try and
That's the trick.
yeah, we try and keep we're we like the fly on the walls during the wedding, so they can enjoy the moments together. And when they're when they're with each other and enjoying those moments, that's when you get those best pictures. When they're relaxed, and it's just that it's just small glances and things like that happen. Those, to me, I mean, they truly, literally give me goosebumps. And those are the pictures that me and Mandy, we challenge ourselves to get at every wedding. The ones that you can look back at, and the bride and the couple can look back at, and it evokes a feeling, it evokes an emotion. Whether it be a smile, whether it be a tear, just something that will,
Or that sparkle.
Yeah, exactly. Something that you can
Totally.
see.
And that doesn't happen when they know the camp photographer is around.
Exactly. That doesn't happen when you're snapping a picture right in front of the couple's, face. Exactly. They're very, oh God, like deer in headlights almost. You just get the shocked look. So it's the pictures that you get, behind the scenes.
So true. Yeah. It's so true. That's why probably I didn't cry for a Vidai, because the photographer was so much on the face. Now I know.
And I mean, one of the things, I mean, during the Vidai is one of the emotional. It's it is an emotional portion of the day, and yeah. There,
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there are times that during Vidais and Dollis where tears are literally rolling down our eyes as we're taking pictures of the parents and the sibling and the kids. Because I mean, I don't know, when you're I feel that when you're behind the camera, you can feel a lot of the emotion coming through, and that's what you try and capture.
Yeah, that's really, those are really good, interesting insights, because I would have not thought of it. So, Jas and Mandy, weddings are typically a really busy time for the immediate family, like mom, dad, brother, sister. How does a couple ensure, that the photographer is able to capture those important moments and the portraits? I know you keep an eye, but is there a something they tell you that you are more aware of? It's clear. Yeah. So like immediate family members, like sometimes the photographs are missed if you don't know the people in the family. maybe.
So
Yeah.
what typically happens if I'm just most likely with Indian weddings, there's obviously pre-events and things like that happen. So you're shooting the wedding over 4 or 5 days sometimes. So you really get to know the parents and you know who's who. What I typically do as soon as I walk into, obviously I know my clients, I know the bride and groom, but then as soon as I either go to the bride's house or I go to the groom's house, my first question is, okay, who are the parents? Who's your
Who's who?
siblings?
Let us know
Where's
who
your
everyone
grandparents? Who's
is.
the uncle? Typically, what happens is when you're first there at say your early events, your pre-events, the people that get there first are there already, are the immediate and the close family. That's typically how it is. So you're like, okay, these are the people. This is who, these are the key people that are right here, right now. Okay, so you memorize those faces, and then okay. Sometimes you can kind of guess who the mom is and dad is and the siblings, obviously. But sometimes you just need to make sure.
Yeah, we've had some brides pretty much spell it out for us. These my masis or whatever mom is, and these folks are the key people. I really want you to focus on my immediate family and these people, and then the rest are whatever.
Right. So, I think one of the things I remember, just switching like topics a little bit, I remember at one point you guys were like doing some photography, wedding photography in London. I may be mistaken though. But at least it was international. So I was curious, what for brides and grooms, what is it, like how can they plan for a photographer that's traveling internationally? Like what is it at a minimum that they owe like to the photographer, like hotels and flights, and can you kind of lay that out if somebody is interested in like working with a photographer that's traveling miles away?
I mean, it's typically
go ahead. All right, it's main thing we ask for is obviously flight, and the boarding we will play by ear. Sometimes, majority of the times, honestly, we like to book our own hotels. We've had some bad experiences with some bookings where the hotel just didn't meet our expectations and it wasn't really restful. So we've kind of got into this groove where we'll just book our own hotel. But if it's like, for example, something like we've done Cancun, a couple of Cancun weddings now, we're going again maybe in November. In that case, that is something the client would need to book because they're all-inclusive resorts, and it's done through, they have these block deals and stuff, and their coordinator usually gets them a discount. So that's something they would want to coordinate definitely in destination weddings, the boarding, and then flight is the other key thing. And then car rentals is sometimes a toss-up. We, majority of the times, I would probably say 90% of the times, have booked our own car rental as well when we're traveling for weddings.
Right.
But then these are expenses that we've also talked with the client prior and saying these will be additional expenses that will be added on to whatever.
Right. Yeah. So how many photographers are needed for a wedding? Like how does somebody determine what they need, like what their needs are?
2 for definite.
Like in terms of like candid photography or traditional photography, like how do they make that assessment?
Yeah, no matter which wedding or what wedding, you would always want 2 photographers at your wedding, no matter what.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because having one photographer there, it's extremely stressful for one photographer to concentrate on getting his gear, getting everything set up, and then taking those shots and being in the exact spot that he needs to be in to capture moments as well.
Yeah. With Indian weddings, so much is going on, and it's one thing after the next. You need to be ready to move on to the next. You don't want to be like, oh, I need to pack up my stuff in this room so I could move to that room where they're going to do the next thing, which happens because, majority of the times it's not always in one place. They'll shift around, move around, especially like Punjabi weddings. It goes from the house, and first it's outside the Gurdwara, then it goes into the dining hall, then it goes into the main darbar, and you know what? It goes back to the dining hall. It like switches around a lot, and you can't be like, okay, this one person carrying all this stuff, trying to keep it with them. and try and watch out for the equipment and watch out and make sure they capture everything. And plus the angles, just having the two different angles and two different sets, because sometimes it'll be like, this happens to us quite a bit. The bride's walking down the aisle, down the center, and somebody pulls up their iPad and starts recording right in the middle. So my shot is just blocked. And luckily, Jas is working a different angle. He's able to get it. So for that,
is there a way to prevent that from happening? I mean, this is our opportunity to like educate couples. You know?
I mean, we've had couples do unplugged weddings where there is no, you do
no
not
devices.
no devices are allowed. At all.
Wow.
And they just let
it's up to the couple if they want to express that and really say that to their families and help have their close family members be advocates. And if they see somebody doing that, say, hey, can you please put that away? We're trying to enjoy the wedding, and let the photographers actually capture the wedding and not get in their way. And we've had actually close family members who will tell somebody like, hey, you're not letting the photographer do their job, you're getting in their way. So as long as the couple themselves and the immediate family is aware and can help educate the people around them, or just tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, do you mind putting that away? That always helps.
Right. So for the wedding parties that are happening like in the evenings or the indoor, is there like really a way to capture like good photos in like poor lighting? Because I mean, so much of it is like lighting dependent, but some venues tend to be pretty dark inside. How do you guys get around that?
Obviously we bring our own lighting. We have our off-camera flashes, and then we also have little fill lights, little LED lights that we utilize as well.
Got it.
So I mean,
it's possible to capture as long as you have the right lighting equipment.
And photography is 90% about lighting.
Right. So does the couple usually have to have different photographer from the brides and the groom side, or is it just one photographer?
Nowadays, typically it's just one photographer.
Okay.
Please, one team.
Yeah. I think
because I've heard too.
We've had a handful. I mean, in the years that we've been doing photography now, I think we've had it about 3 times where the grooms hired one team and the brides hired another team. This used to be something that people used to do, back in the day, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's no common thing. They think about their getting ready now. As long as the team can provide the coverage on both sides in the morning, then at the ceremony, at least there aren't like a team of 8 or whatever folks there. 2 videographers, 2 photographers from each side. That would just be insane.
It does make sense, yeah. How early does the couple usually get ready during the getting ready, before the wedding, to get like the best photographs, and so that you guys have enough time and they're more relaxed?
It will depend on the wedding. Right. A lot of Sikh weddings start super early in the morning. The bride pretty much starts getting ready like 4 or something. And we arrive like 6 o'clock, and then a lot of the South Indian weddings that we've covered, like whether it's Gujarati or Maharashtrian or whatever, it will depend on the muhurat they have. We've done some early mornings for that as well, where the ceremony is going to start at 9-10 in the morning, so the bride's getting up super early to get ready. And we've done some where the wedding ceremony doesn't start till 3. It's just a matter of, I always recommend when brides who haven't figured out a timeline or haven't had any experience in the family, that look at your ceremony, what time you need to be there, and just like add some buffer time in between, but then backtrack from that. Right. Like before the ceremony, what needs to happen? The brat needs to happen. So how much time for that? And before the brat, that's when you probably want to do a first look. If, it's okay with the families. Some families don't like the first look shoots. So the first look is probably the best.
The first look shoots, you mean just she's ready?
Yeah, she's ready, he's ready. They see each other for the first time.
Oh, I see.
We capture that, and we do their portrait shoot then, instead of doing their portrait shoot after the ceremony when they're probably tired and sweaty and oily by the end of it.
Right.
And then,
that's what I mean. Yeah. So it's better to do it before the wedding.
Yeah, because you're
the couple
Pretty
shot.
they're all ready and they're fresh and the makeup's ready to go and it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
you do it right.
And no
That's the
tikas
best
and
time.
everything.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What differentiates like what's the difference between like a good photographer and a great photographer?
Oh man.
Mm.
A great photographer knows the room, knows
Great
where to
question.
be, exactly where to be at the right time.
Exactly. You're not asking like, oh, we're ready to start this part. Where's the photographer?
Yeah.
A great photographer will be there and ready to go. A good photographer pretty much is capturing the basics, is just checking off the check boxes. A great photographer is going above and beyond.
That's awesome.
And he's the one that when you see the images, you'll be like, how did he get this shot? Where was he? I didn't even see him.
No, that's so yeah.
Got it. So what are like some of the common mistakes that people make when like posing for photos? Can you share some ideas on how people can pose like better?
A lot of people
Posing
slouch.
101.
Yeah, a lot of people do slouch, rolling their shoulders forward and not opening themselves up to the camera. That's one of the big things.
Yeah, that even involves taking your chin in towards your chest.
Right.
The best thing is always to keep that not like lifted up where you're going, what's up or something, but to the point where it's extended and it's kind of like, we say turtleneck, it's kind of like sticking out and up, not completely awkward, but you just want it nice and clean. It just stretches, elongates your neck, and that looks nice in photos.
I was going to ask you that because I really struggle with the chin.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the tendency to keep yourself
you just think,
inside.
you can't lift. Yeah, you want to just bring it out and forward, and not just revert back in. And like Jas was saying, just roll your shoulders back, make yourself look big and strong, and that looks powerful in photos.
Right.
I mean, it depends on the image that you're capturing. You don't want to obviously be square onto the camera. You want to give a little bit more of a 45-degree, like a side-ish profile. Yeah,
that helps with posing as well.
So you teach you probably give the bride and the groom some tips right before they start doing it, because I'm sure they've not done it.
We do. We tell them how to stand, especially the brides, like crossing their legs, dipping their shoulders, things like that, arching their back a little bit, dropping the hand, flexing the wrist. Just it's very small, subtle little details that you have to manipulate.
Yeah, they go a long way in the photos, right? And that's why we like doing portrait shoots, like engagement shoots beforehand. That really gets the couple comfortable posing, and Jas coaches them through that process. So on the wedding day, it's just they're ready to go. They're just naturals at it by then.
Okay, so it's like photograph rehearsal.
Right, yeah. Photography.
For the wedding. Yeah, cool. So what makes you guys different? Because there are so many wedding photographers. What is it that you guys do differently, and whom are you inspired by daily?
Oh, wow.
The first thing that comes to mind, I would say, is probably the fact that we're a husband and wife team. That is, I think, really special in the Indian industry. And then we've had several couples, of course, make this comment to us. It's just them seeing us and the way we are with each other. It's like, oh, that's relationship goals. Not that, that's something we're trying to sell or anything, but it's something that's just naturally happened.
Right.
That I think that really sets us apart, that we can, without offering that, can offer that. And then the fact that we both have these different
styles,
mindsets, whereas I'm really I love the candid. I just like standing to the side, whereas Jas loves the portraits. So they get a good combination of those portraits and those candid moments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And as far as inspiration, when I first was inspired to get into photography was through this photographer, a friend of ours, a co-friend. Well, it was a co-worker of Mandy's called Kerry Edmondson. And even to this day, he still is my mentor. The way he sees light is just brilliant. I had him he actually assisted me. Funny enough, he assisted me on a wedding over the weekend. So he was my second shooter, and so I was prime. I was doing my thing, and then he'd be there taking his shots. And even now, I'm like, man, this guy is just the way he's just seeing the way he looks at light. He looks at the way we differ a little bit is I manipulate light. I create my own light. I look for light and I create my own light. He looks for the lights, looks for the shadows, and looks for the drama within those shadows. So his style's a little different. But he's the one that taught me a lot about natural lighting and his compositions and the way he works. Brilliant.
Kerry Anderson. Yeah.
Kerry Edmondson. He is an international award-winning photographer. His passion is sports. He shoots mainly the A's games and the Raiders games and things like that. But yeah,
that's really cool.
So at one point, you guys had recommended, and this may seem off topic, but I think it is very relevant, a documentary, The Secret. I think you recommended to Jinal, and then I think we ended up watching it.
Yeah.
On Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, and we were thinking, this actually relates a lot to Indian weddings as well. But maybe can you tell us a little bit about the documentary and what is your perspective about it?
Well, it's just basically whatever you put into your mindset, into the world, is exactly what you're going to receive back from it. So basically, if you're always 100% positive on your, like for instance, on your wedding day, if you stay positive, everything's going to go good. Everything's going to be great. If you focus on the negative, and then it's just going to be a trickle down effect from that. So for couples, it's more about, especially on the wedding day, focus on what the big picture is on your wedding day, which is obviously to be married. Don't worry about the small details and things that do not go your way. Just think about the positive thing, which is basically at the end of the day, I am marrying my best friend, So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's very deep, but I think it's really important to think about this beforehand, so it kind of reminds you during the wedding ceremony to not freak out.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Mandy, you have anything to add to that?
No, I completely agree. And I saw a classic example of that just one of the recent weddings. It was a Gurdwara wedding, and one of the guys who was speaking from the temple was making some comments that were not inappropriate, but just a little offensive to some of the guests. And the bride, instead of letting it get to her and it showing up in her videos and photos later, she was just smiling through it. And nobody around her the folks that weren't listening didn't even know a single thing about it. So it's like if she or her immediate family started causing emotion and started showing it on the faces, it would have then spread throughout the room as well. So it's just staying calm and collective, even when you know things aren't going wrong, really helps. And just like Jas said, focusing on the big picture really helps.
Yeah.
That's true. So this is, we have a couple of minutes more left. So do you guys think, is there anything that we should have asked you that is important for a couple to know before they hire a photographer?
Make sure you get along with a photographer. That is key as well. Okay. Make sure the personalities match. Make sure you feel comfortable with the photographer, because at the end of the day, that photographer will be your best friend, literally. He's going to be there at every intimate moment.
He's going to be your shadow, pretty much.
He's going to be there at every intimate moment during your wedding day. So make sure you can...
And you don't want it to be somebody you're annoyed by or you feel awkward around.
Yeah. Do they probably meet you in person before the wedding?
Yes. That's always a good thing. Meeting in person or Skype calls, video chat.
Skype calls.
Yeah. Because obviously we do weddings that are, destination weddings as well. Sometimes we're not going to be, going over to meet the client. So we do Skype calls.
Yeah. I
Right.
also think it's important for them to have a cool accent like you, Jess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the accents definitely help.
Yeah, exactly.
It's attractive.
Yes. Yep.
Many things attractive about you guys. The way you guys work together, it's just magical, actually.
That's actually
Thank
another
you.
point that a lot of people don't know. As far as our background story, that both me and Mandy were actually arranged. When they see us interacting with each other and the way we do, they're like, "Man, it comes as a complete shock."
Yeah.
It surprises a
A
lot of
lot of
couples.
people.
What do you mean arranged? I mean the way you.
Arranged.
Sorry, I missed that. So what do you mean arranged? As in like.
It
Like
was an
a
arranged
Oh,
marriage.
the
marriage.
We
arranged
had,
marriage. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, I
Yeah.
see. No, I was trying
It's the
yes,
to.
most popular thing about Indian weddings,
No, no.
arranged
I thought they were
marriages.
talking about.
yes.
I thought they were talking about the arranged. When they're actually at the weddings, that
Ah,
they kind of coordinate that, and
ah.
that's kind of what I was
Got it.
thinking. Sorry.
It's like their chemistry. Even if it's arranged, it looks like a love
Yeah.
marriage. That's what they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where can people find out about more about you and your work?
Our website for sure, jskphotography.com, and then Instagram is probably our social media that we're most active on, which is JSK Photos.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right. Well, everybody follow JSK Photography right now, because you're gonna see some awesome stuff out there. So you guys really are an inspiration for a lot of people in the wedding industry. So thanks for doing what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for
Thank
giving us
you.
this platform. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Indian Wedding Podcast. For more exclusive time and money-saving tips, head over to sampatjewelers.com/podcast.